Hey, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Ratazar Allah from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakach Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings to the hopeful and sincere elect, Bakhariam of the hopeful elect around the four winds of the earth, Baha'a Ratazar. Shalom, man. Greetings. Just want to do a quick upload. There's this word or this term, Nouveau Order Securium, is playing on my mind. I was just currently watching one of these game cutscene movies. This one in particular is called StarCraft, and in it, Esau likes to put his subliminal messages of the intent of the wicked elite, in regards to when they have heroes and villains, what their, what their, ordeal is going to be. And the villain also in this StarCraft movie scene always kept mentioning a new age, a new age order, a new age amongst the stars. So that term new age kept playing in my mind. And I guess that's what inspired me to do this quick sit down with Spirit and Power Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Our brothers is edified. We do all things to edify the hopeful and sincere elect. So you got the seal here of Nuus Coeptus, Nouveau Order Securium, with the all-seeing eye and the pyramid, which right now they're having a celebration of the World Cup. And if brothers was in tune with that, which I'm not really in tune with it, but I also, like to watch the ceremonies, the open ceremonies like that in the Olympics, because they always put subliminals there as well. And throughout the whole ceremony of the beginning of the World Cup, FIFA World Cup 2026, that's being held in Babylon the Great, aka America, funny enough, they kept promoting and producing basically images of the all-seeing eye. Actresses, actors, and dancers and all that. They kept putting up the all-seeing eye image, and obviously the symbolism is very heavy in ritualistic, esoteric knowledge, and they had the whole football field covered in all type of, symbology and talisman type images, referencing to the Illuminati, Masonry, Freemasonry, and the all-seeing eye. As if you watch the video, you'll see it. It's all demonic anyway. It's all that Satan, that's the satanic worship. So yeah, this is the intent of the wicked elite, the council of iniquity. It's prophesied in the scriptures. They call themselves the enlightened ones, so-called Illuminati, which means holders of the light, or the light bearers. Lucifer. But up to us, they're the princes of darkness, man. Up to the Hebrew Israelites, they're the dark forces of wickedness, man. The seed of the wicked, because they're being controlled by the seed of the wicked, being of the stock of Esau, Edom, the Edomites, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So this is what they're promoting, and their whole thing is to come with a new age order, new world order, Nouveau Order Securium. And they want to get rid of the old system, the old way of technology, and come in with this new biometric, technocratic surveillance technology that everything's going to be online and digitalized, and everything's going to be tracked and traced through their supercomputers and AI technology, man, trying to turn themselves into an AI messiah. So this is the full intent of the wicked elite, man. They're going to do that by initiating and mandating a registration for people to take the biometric device known as the mark of the beast, the RFID chip in the right hand in their forehead, man. And that's the major prophecy that's getting ready to come to pass as we speak. Because the system, the infrastructure for the New World Order is being set up, man. They got the data centers now, and that they can track and trace and surveil people, and they're pushing all these EV cars that you should buy, for electronic vehicles that people should buy, and get rid of their old school cars and vehicles. And they want everyone to be driving electronical vehicles that can be controlled by the push of a button, and basically this is what it's all about. The Carl Schwab, that old devil, said you want own nothing and be happy, and that's part of the New World Order, man. The new great reset that these devils want to initiate, It's all about them having total control and power over the masses, man. You know, the population control, as they call it. So this is it, man, and they're about to accomplish that. They're about to accomplish the final capstone with the all-seeing eye on top of the pyramid. That's when they're basically mandated the sea-hipping of everyone on the face of the earth. But as soon as they do that, when they're about to fill their belly, that's when Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to bring terror and destruction upon them, pursuant to Job 20, verse 22 on down, you know. But I just wanted to concentrate on this term here, Seclorium, because you might see it and think, oh, that's talking about the actual world, because you say New World Order in the Latin for Novus Order Seclorium, or New Secular Order, right? But that word there, Seclorium, is Latin for age, you know. So it's a new age order. And then you got a Annus Coeptus on the top there, pronouncing the birth of their enterprise, you know, which is what their enterprise is, this New World Order. The Lord said that their enterprise is going to be cut short, pursuant to Job 5 and 12. The Lord disappointed the craftiness of the disappointed the devices of the crafty, so they're not able to accomplish their enterprise, roughly paraphrasing. And then down here in the Roman numerals, you got 1766, which is when, you know, the birth of the Illuminati, 1st of May 1776. You know, that 250 years later in history, which is to this year, is basically them celebrating 250 years of them trying to accomplish this New World Order, you know. And it also, you got the 4th of June, 1776, when the so-called America gained their independence. But really it's commemoration to the Freemasons, because America was birthed through through Masonic and Freemasonry. Going back to the founding forefathers, they were all a bunch of Freemasons and all that, man. So it's all about left-handism, mysticism, witchcraft, rebellion against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you know, Tower of Babel type spirit all over again, and trying to defy the Lord. But all that's going to be short-lived, man. Esau's did nothing. There's nothing new under the sun, and just like they attempted to, you know, have a new world order in times past during the Greco-Roman Empire and the Babylonian, and in Babel, should I say, not Babylonian, but in Babel, with you know, of Nimrod and them, you know, just like they attempted to do have a new world order back then. There's nothing new under the sun, so it's all gonna come smashing down, come to a shambles basically, because the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is not with no new one world order system, especially under these Edomite devils known so-called white people today, which are the seed of Satan, man. So I just wanted to highlight that fact. We're gonna go into that word Seclorium real quick. You know, Novus Ordo Seclorium. It says the phrase Novus Ordo Seclorium, you know, from the Latin, it says new order of the ages. So that word Seclorium is not talking about the known world, because you got 3 different terminologies or 3 different definitions for the word world in the Greek. You know, you got aeon, which is similar to this one here, Seclorium, which actually links up to this Latin version of Seclorium, because it means ages, order of the ages, moment in time, so to speak. And then you have in the Greek version, a translation of that word Seclorium is aeon, which means the same thing, an uninterrupted rule, time of the ages, so on and so forth. And then you have oikumene, as the known, talking about the whole world, whole known world in a sense. That's prophesied in precepts like Revelations 3 and 10. Actually, it's not, because you got Geo. Well, actually, yeah, it is oikumene, if I'm not mistaken. We'll double check that in a minute. And then you got Geo for the earth as well, you know, which is Geo or Gi, means the whole known earth, you know. That's also in the Greek. And then you got Cosmos, which is talking about a secular choice, a chosen people, an organization basically, which is probably people in John 3:16, they like to quote that for the Lord so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. But you don't understand that term world in the Greek is talking about a sector, a selection of people, man, an organization. And that's talking about the Israelites specifically. It's not talking about the whole known world. And that's not linked up to Isaiah 45 and 17 as well, like the apostles brought out, People like to link up John 3:16 with Isaiah 45:17, where it says world without end, but that's that world without end is talking about the ages as well, because in the Hebrew, how you would say ages, or like you say in the Greek aeon, or in the Latin seclorium, you would say iwalam, and iwalam in the Hebrew means the ages, basically the same thing, same translation of the Greek version and the Latin version seclorium and aeon, the Latin version seclorium and the Greek version aeon. So hopefully brothers are not being confused, but we're going to go through it anyway in a minute. Just wanted to quite quickly highlight those points. But order nouveau order seclorium, so it's the new order of the ages. So when I was watching this anime movie type scene, and they kept mentioning the new ages, that's basically what they're promoting. Esau putting them subliminals in the movies and all the entertainment and all that, so on and so forth, sports and entertainment, of a new age order, a new order of the ages, basically. And that's what the seal on the on the $1 bill is referencing. The Great Seal, as they call it, and on the $1 bill translates to a new order of the ages. So yeah, so I just want to read the 1 or 2 precepts and close out, and make this too long. But this is from Matthew 30:49. I might as well read the precept first and go into it. This is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, so shall it be at the end of the world. Now people will see that word world and think that's talking about the whole known world. But it's not. It says, so shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just. And that's exactly what the angels are going to do. The Lord said he's going to gather his elect from around the four winds of the earth, But the world he's talking about is a particular world. He's not talking about the whole known world or everyone in the known world. He's talking about a selection, a chosen few, an organization of people, which mainly is talking about the nation of Israel. But this word world in the Greek here, when you check it out, it's talking about the ages, because it says here, as I said, so shall it be at the end of the world. The end of whose world? The end of Esau's world. The only people that's going to be delivered out of this world in these last days is the elect. But the word world in the Greek here is talking about the end of Esau's rulership, because he's in the rulership seat right now. So at the end of his rulership, the Lord's going to sever the wicked from the just, meaning he's going to destroy the 2/3 of his own people that are wicked and rebellious, and he's going to deliver the elect, the ones that are just, the ones that repented. So you got the Greek word for world here is aeon, similar to seclorium, which means ages or order of the ages. It's a forever, an unbroken age, perpetuity of time, eternity, period of time and age. And that's what the word world means in the Greek for aeon. It's talking about the end of Esau's rulership. The Lord said he'll be with us until the end of the world. Also, that precept says the same translation in the Greek is aeon, when you check it out. So, 1 second, let me just double check, click this again. It should come up in here. Yeah, so here's verse 40, next verse basically. No, not next verse, Lakia. Because that chapter's talking about the wheat and the tares. So the end of Esau's rulership, which we're in now, the Lord's going to gather the elect, which are the just, and he's going to get rid of the tares, which are the other nations, mainly of Esau, Edomite heritage, that look like Jake's. So the Lord's going to separate the wicked from the just, separate the wheat from the tares, basically, through the harvest with the angels. They're going to do most of the sifting, man, in these last days. But I just wanted to, here it is, Matthew 28:20. It says, this is Yahweh Shai speaking again, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the world, to the end of Esau's rulership, which is now. So Yahweh Shai told us to teach this gospel until the end of the world hits, basically. And now the end is about to come. So these are beautiful times. Let me just get Isaiah 45 and 17 real quick, just to show you that the Hebrew version of that word world is oikumeni. It says, but Israel, as I read from verse 16, it says, they shall be ashamed and also confounded, all of them that they shall go into confusion together, that are makers of idols. It says, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So when you check out that word world in the Hebrew, now this is in the Old Testament. The Old Testament was written in what the Hebrew as we know today, the last one dash. The word world there is Ayawalam. Ayawalam, right? Same breakdown, same translation basically in the Greek. Long duration of time, antiquity, futurity, futurity, forever, ever, everlasting, evermore, perpetual, old, ancient, forever, always. Basically means the same thing, moment in time, long duration of time. But in this sense, it's going to be a world that's never going to end, meaning we're never going to come out of rulership. Because once we get back into our rulership, being of the sincere elect, the hopeful elect, we come down from the ships with Yahweh Shai in those new bodies, we're not going to taste of death. The sting of death is going to be passed over from us, basically, just like Yahweh Shai conquered death, and it came back in the resurrection. We're going to be in that same light glory. We're going to have that same glory Yahweh Shai and the angels have. And we're going to live forever, man. We're going to be made immortal. When you take off this mortal flesh and mortal clothing and put on a cloak of immortality, man. So that means we're just going to have an everlasting rulership. And we're never going to come down from the throne, basically. Everlasting kingdom. That's why I keep talking about the everlasting salvation. A long duration of time that never ends, basically. To infinity and beyond, as they would say in Star Trek and all of that. But yeah, so that word there in the Hebrew for the Greek translation is Ayawalam. In the Greek you would say aeon, that means the ages, and in the Latin you would say seclorium, which means the ages too. So that's what that's talking about when it talks about new order of the ages, or new secular order, a new world order. When brothers say it, you just read it off the without referring to the ancient tongues and all that. You just look at it and you see this is new order seclorium, and initially you just think it means new world order, but actually means of the ages. So obviously brothers would know this. That's in that scholarly, with a scholarly hat on, and that's used to looking up their words, their root words and etymologies and all that. The brothers is in the know, but you got brothers, so-called brothers outside of that right now that don't know, about looking up their words and root words and so on and so. So really just doing that for them. But yeah, that was it. Just a quick hit. Hopefully brothers is edified. As I said, you got Revelations 3 and 10. Double check that real quick. The word there for world there should be, in a sense, oikumeni. So because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this word world should be oikumeni, because it's talking about the whole known world. Everyone's going to be tried and tested, basically. In the hour of temptation, which is what we're coming into now, the mark of the beast, the implementation of the mark of the beast. So you got it there in the Greek, oikumeni. So it's talking about the whole known world, the inhabited earth. Yeah, that's it. World population and all of that. All the subjects of the modern day Roman Empire, which is what Babylon the Great, aka America. So we're all subjects, we're all slaves in this system, man. System means a pit, a trap, a snare, a jinn, and we're all, part of that system, They want to make us digitally part of that system now and put a digital all underneath people's skin. And the word for world, earth there is obviously geo, as we said earlier. Just say gi or geo, which means the whole the earth, basically, the land. In the Hebrew, you say arataza. In the Hebrew, the word for world or earth is arataza, meaning the land, So yeah, man, that's it. Basically, I just wanted to do a quick highlight on that word for the terminology of Secorium. Hopefully, brothers, is edified. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach Kodash, and Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.